You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I'm happy. I'm not good. We're not going negative here. We're not going to go to the Sixers have given me enough negativity, but I do have one critique. I have a critique about Rob Thomson. That's what I got for you on today's Locked On Phillies postcast here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. I do have to tell you that this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more right now with new customers getting $150 in bonus bets guaranteed at FanDuel. That's $150 win or lose. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. Let's start it off with three big things, as we always like to do. I'm going to go a little bit I'll go in regular order today with the biggest thing. The biggest thing is Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott, to me, has had to have a game like he had today where he hit not one, but two-run home runs, each one giving the Phillies a different lead. And they needed that incredibly today. And he showed patience at the plate. He showed aggression when he needed to be aggressive. He was the guy that we saw play last year, the guy that we saw in the second half of his rookie season. That's the version of Bryson Stott that we love to see. So first and foremost, let me give a hat tip to Bryson Stott and what he was able to bring to the Phillies table today during this game. Now you look at his first home run that came in the second inning. We were doing Locked On Sixers postcast, so I had to go back and watch this. Got a slider up in the zone, hit it 396 feet to center field, to right center field, and that kind of got the ball rolling for him. What was also important, I'll give a hat tip to Nick Castellanos, actually showing some patience at the plate today, and that helped in both instances for Bryson Stott's two-run home runs. The first one coming there in the second inning, and then he steps up to the plate in the fourth inning. By now, the Phillies unfortunately had surrendered the lead back to the San Diego Padres, and Bryson Stott steps up. This time, 0-2. This is what reminded me so much of Bryson Stott a year ago. 0-2 counts galore for Bryson Stott. And to use the line from the late, great Stuart Scott, as cool as the other side of the pillow. And in this particular instance, goes down in the count 0-2, gets a cutter, cut fastball up in the zone, and he tattoos it, ladies and gentlemen, 396 feet. That's what you want to see from Bryson Stott. Down 0-2, doesn't matter. Very cool, very calm, very much collected, and a fan gets to collect a souvenir courtesy of Bryson Stott twice today, and that gave the Phillies a 5-3 lead. Great to see it from Bryson Stott. Absolutely needs it when you know the numbers that he's put up so far this season are well below the bar that he has set for himself in his young career. Stott with his 2 hits today, 3 runs scored, 4 runs batted in, ups his average to, it's modest, 226, and now that on-base percentage at 295. But hey, it could be the step in the right direction. So first and foremost, hat tip to Bryson Stott. Number 2, Alec Bohm is incredible. Absolutely, certifiably, all-star caliber, MVP running great for the Phillies. Absolutely unbelievable. 12-game hit streak. I did the numbers so you wouldn't have to do the numbers. Here you go. Bryson Stott, during this 12-game hitting streak, 17 hits, not too bad, and has raised his batting average from 232 to 365. 232 to 365. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't care about the batting average anymore. They say, the batting average doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. Especially if you're now the cleanup hitter. The cleanup hitter isn't he's getting paid big bucks, but the cleanup hitter isn't getting paid to walk. The cleanup hitter is getting paid to drive in runs. That's what the cleanup hitter is doing. And over this 12-game hit streak, he's got 9 extra base hits, and he has 3 of his 4 home runs with 16 runs batted in. So, yeah, it pays to raise that batting average the way Alec Bohm has raised his batting average, and that's what you want to say from a guy who absolutely has earned that cleanup spot in the lineup, and Rob Thomson rewarding his efforts and his success in the way that he has by moving him up to hit cleanup, and he has not disappointed in the least. The hit streak has continued 12 games, and this is the hitter that you were hoping Alec Bohm could develop into, when he showed you signs as even a rookie, that he could be this clutch a hitter for you by hitting with runners in scoring position throughout his career and doing it even though now he's been moved up and has phased him none. It is like, this is the spot and this is the point he has been waiting for to be the Phillies cleanup hitter. And that's exactly what he's done. Absolutely incredible. Love what I'm seeing from Alec Bohm. Got a raw deal. I feel like you got a raw deal there in that, what was it, 7th inning it ended up being, where there was the sharp ground ball hit by Manny Machado, went to him at third base. He put a glove on it, kept it in front of him, but unfortunately Machado was not credited with the single, but was credited to Alec Bohm with an error. Thought he got a little bit of a raw deal. Not that I thought he needed to redeem himself in that 8th inning, but Marte was in the game at that point. Machado came up, hit the sharp ground ball to the left side of the infield. Bohm came up with it, couldn't make a play, and that was that. But then Bogaerts comes up there, and he hits another grounder, a sharp grounder to Alec Bohm. He charges it, gloves it, fumbles it a little bit, a little trouble getting out of the webbing of his mitt, fired to first, and just by the skin of his teeth was able to get Xander Bogaerts there at first base for the out. They reviewed it. It was upheld. Good call there by the umpire at first base. But still, a great play there by Alec Bohm to be able to get the out in that situation. And then after that, Marte was able to get Merrill to ground out the first, and Kim was grounding out to Alec Bohm again, making the final play of that inning. So in the field and at the plate, great from Alec Bohm on this afternoon, and I feel like this is just a regular theme. I feel like now I just got to reserve a spot in the top 3. The 3 big things every single show. I just got to reserve a spot for Alec Bohm because he's going to do something great, and yeah, he did it great again today. Here's my question. It's a question. I'm not going to skew negative. Again, I've got enough negativity in my energy about the Sixers than to go anywhere else. But so it's a critique. Is it extremely positive? No, it's not extremely positive. But I'll put a positive spin on it. Taijuan Walker was better than I expected him to be today. There is my positive spin. Taijuan Walker was better than I thought he would be in his first start for the Phillies this season. Now, granted, it is with a heavy heart that Taijuan Walker is starting, because I don't know how you could take a guy like Spencer Turnbull out of the rotation when he's pitching as dominant as he has. Now, here's the bad look. At the end of the day, Taijuan Walker walks off the hill at 90 pitches in his first start of the season, goes 6 1/3, allowing 6 runs, all of them earned on 8 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 2 home runs surrendered. Now, here's what's funny, okay? 6 runs, all of them earned. 6 earned runs in his first start of the season. Compare that to Spencer Turnbull, 4 earned runs in 5 starts. So 5 starts, 4 earned runs. 1 start, 6 earned runs. That's not good. But let's go beyond the box score for a second here. Because before he ran into some trouble there, unfortunately, in the 7th inning where Castellanos came up and hit the home run and all that jazz and all that happened. What was Rob Thomson doing? I really don't understand it. 2 things. Rob Thomson has said pretty consistently. 1, he's afraid to get guys hurt. He wants to handle guys, especially guys coming off injury. Oh, man, handle them with kid gloves, okay? Taijuan Walker is coming off the IL. He's literally making his first start. And you give him more leeway than you have with Spencer Turnbull, even though Spencer Turnbull over time has showed you through those 5 starts. He could keep going. And he pulls him in his last start after 6 innings. He pulls him when he could have given you at least 1 more inning, and that was the game that Sir Anthony Dominguez came in and blew. It was a 5 innings, I believe it was. Whatever it was, he could have had at least 1 more inning in him, Spencer Turnbull. And after the game, even said that I had 1 more inning left in me. I could go 1 more inning. I'm not worried about, not thinking about the injury ananymore. I'm pitching well. I feel like I'm in a groove. Keep me out there. And Rob Thompson's like, no, we're going to take you out. We're going to take you out. We're going to take you out. Okay. Because there's a long layoff between innings, right? Between up downs there for Spencer Turnbull. It doesn't make any sense to me. So something that he's always said is, I'm not going to get anybody hurt. Okay, fine. Now, 90 pitches isn't incredible by any means. It's not a huge workload, but for a guy just coming off the IL, it seems a little steep. And then, how about this? Another constant theme of Rob Thomson. Okay, I admit it now. Now I'm negative. Okay, all right. Another constant theme of Rob Thomson is that when you have a starting pitcher and he's out there in a groove and you can get him out of the game where he's feeling good about himself, you get him out of the game where he's feeling good about himself. So Taijuan Walker there in the 7th inning is showing you that he feels good about himself. He's, to that point, has had a good start. He's been dealing. He is 6 innings with 3 runs at that point. That's fine. That's good. That's grand. and then he left him out there too long. And it wasn't just even left him out there for too long. Didn't even have somebody warming up. First sign that he is losing it, that the Padres are getting something going. Okay, get him out of there. It's amazing to me that even before anybody got on base in that 7th inning, it's amazing to me that Rob Thomson decided, okay, we're just going to ride this out and see how it goes. Of all the things, Tinker Topper failed to tinker in this situation, and I just don't get it. It makes zero sense to me. I understand why Taijuan Walker is getting the opportunity, and it's because the old scratchola. It's because of the old money, and I get that. That's how the world turns and stuff. All right, but when it comes to this game, I was fine with him making the start. The decision's been made. We're all living with it. He went out there and he was fine. And in the 7th inning, you choose not to meddle in this at all. How is nobody up in the bullpen already? Even when Taijuan Walker is walking, okay, you know what? You think he can give you another inning? See if he can give you another inning. But even that is bonkers to me, considering he's just coming off the IL. And then you let him go. Nobody's up in the pen. Nobody's up in the pen. Nobody's still up in the pen. And then finally, you allow him to surrender a 3-run home run to Castellanos, who was pinch hitting, and then you take him out of the game for Jeff Hoffman. I said it online. I said it on Twitter. Said it on Twitter. I'll say it to you again. Make it make sense to me. Because I felt that if Topper applied his normal philosophy, Taijuan Walker's feeling a lot better about himself. Instead of looking at it as 6 innings, 6 1/3, 6 earned runs, instead of that, he's looking at 6 innings, 3 runs. Quality start. Something to build on. Now, you could still say you could build off those first 3 innings, or the first 6 innings, excuse me. But the minute you go out there in the 7th inning and you get yourself into trouble and your defense can't help you and Bryce Harper can't come up with a play at first base, the minute all that happens, okay, get him out. You already, at that point, if you're doing it right, you already have somebody up in the pen. It really doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Topper has showed a little bit more of a willingness to have some guys try to go through the bottom of the order, and that was the situation. Castellanos, of course, pinch hitting for the 9-hole spot, and still came back to bite you in the old behind. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It is not, if you follow typical Topper philosophy, it goes against everything we've seen from Rob Thomson in the now almost 2 full seasons since he's been the manager. Took over half of one, full one, and half of one. This was not even half of one. It's April, for crying out loud. All right, let me be positive. I want to get back on the positive track. We're going to be positive, okay? We're going to be positive. When we come back, I'm going to tell you some numbers on the Phillies that I was alluding to yesterday when I talked about this is the most locked in I have seen a lineup and a rotation, even including Taijuan Walker now. The most locked in I've seen a rotation and a lineup since the 2011 Philadelphia Phillies that had the 4 aces. We'll get into that conversation when we come back. You are locked on Phillies postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Hey, DoorDash. Are you guys using DoorDash? You should be using DoorDash. If you're not using DoorDash, what are you waiting for? And how about this? Mother's Day, just around the corner. You could use DoorDash to get all the things that mommy wants for Mother's Day. That's right. Everyone loves DoorDash, but have you thought about it when it comes to ordering mom some great gifts for Mother's Day? All you have to do is use code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB to get 50% off your next order on DoorDash, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on your next flower arrangement for mom, or your next convenience order, or your grocery order, whatever it might be. Retail order on DoorDash, you got it right there when you use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. And we all want to take care of mom for Mother's Day, don't we? After she took such great care of us, DoorDash helps you take care of mom the way she took care of you, especially in a very efficient way and one that fits your schedule. Get the great, thoughtful gifts that mom deserves with convenience that you need. Choose same-day delivery, or you could schedule a week ahead for when flowers and gifts should arrive to her front door with DoorDash. How great is DoorDash? Order now and get everything you need for mom for Mother's Day on DoorDash. Use promo code, once again, Locked On MLB. That's Locked On MLB. You see it at the bottom of the screen right there to get 50% off your next order, or up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on your next flower arrangement, your convenience, your grocery, your retail order now on DoorDash. That's promo code Locked On MLB. Promo code Locked On MLB using DoorDash to make your order today. Terms apply. Have you heard me talking about Monopoly Go? Have you heard it across the Locked On Sports Network? Monopoly Go, I admit it, I got a little bit of a competitive side, and I'm a big fan of Monopoly Go. I was a big fan of Monopoly, the old classic game, of course. I'm a big fan of the mobile hit on the classic Monopoly game. So to join your friends and download Monopoly Go, you can go to the App Store or Google Play Store to download Monopoly Go. It is a blast. In Monopoly Go, you can team up with your friends for timed tournaments when you work together and build each other up on the leaderboards. The more you win together, the more awesome prizes you get to unlock. And there's so much to get. Unique stickers that you can trade with a friend to complete albums for big prizes. Cool new playing pieces to travel the boards with, which are incredible. Also, hilarious emojis for taunting friends. That's what we like to do in our fantasy sports, right? Taunt our friends. That's why we do it. It's not to win. It's just to taunt them. Make sure you win more than them. Hilarious emojis to taunt your friends. And you can smash their buildings, too, which is a nice little feature right there. Or you can heist their vaults. You don't have that in the old one. Plus, Monopoly Go feels new, and it is. Experiencing and having a great time every single time you open up Monopoly Go. With constantly changing tournaments and challenges, the fun never ends. A ton include with their unique mini games like digging for treasure. Oh, it's such a good time. There's always something fun to discover with Monopoly Go. So get off the bench and go download Monopoly Go now, free on Google Play or the App Store. Game on with Monopoly Go. So the numbers. Oh, let's see. Oh, we got some people want to chime in, and we got some piping hot takes here. Who do we got here? Crazy's excited. Bust out the brooms. A little concerned about Taijuan Walker. Looking at the chat check here. He looked good at the beginning, but maybe Topper should have only let him go 6th. Oh, hell yeah. I concur with that. 1,000%. Go Sixers. Locked on, Farzy, just like Bomer. There you go. Nice to see you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Facts. His infatuation with analytics is all that scares me. Says Crazy. I believe that's on Bomer. Go Sixers. Farzy, he out-tinkered himself. How does Tinker Topper out-tinker himself? I don't know. It just sounds crazy. Thank you guys in the chat. Feel free to chime in whenever. But here's the numbers I wanted to give you that are very, well, quite frankly, they're fantastic. So here's the numbers for the Phillies. They are 9 games over 500 right now. They are 19-10 on the season. 19-10. It's April. I still can't believe it. 9 games over 500. They weren't at that mark until July 7th of last season. July 7th of last season. Their 19-10 record is the 10th time in franchise history, modern history, where they've won 19 in their first 29 games. Last time they did it, 2011. What did I tell you yesterday? And also, first 3-game sweep in San Diego since August 7th of 2015, courtesy of our friends at NBC Sports Philly. Appreciate that. It is really wild. I trying to think of a time where the Phillies had this kind of get up and go this early in the season. You got to go back to 2011. And that team you kind of knew, especially because the rotation was stacked, that they were going to be incredible. Going into this season, you did not have this much confidence in Aaron Nola. You didn't have this much confidence in the bullpen. I was with everybody. I had faith in Nola. I said, this is a year, right? It's like I look at football with Jalen Hurts. Like, this is a year that if you like Jalen Hurts like I do, there's no excuses. You got the weapons. You got an experienced offense coordinator. There's no excuses for Jalen Hurts and his offense not to be great. I look at it with this Phillies team, right? Back in 2011. You get those arms in the rotation, there's no excuse to be great. Not to be great. When I look at Aaron Nola, I said before the season, there's no excuses. He's got the money. It's off his mind. He is taken care of. If you follow the bouncing ball of his career over the last 4 or 5 seasons, it's been ERA of 4.3, 4.3, 4.3, 4. It's been like that. And then this year, a lot more dialed in. I didn't think he was going to be that good, but he's been this good. Zach Wheeler, we all kind of expected for him to be great. He's been great. Ranger Suarez, I think, has exceeded everybody's expectations. Like he's a number 3 starter in this rotation. He's the number 1 on a lot of other staffs in Major League Baseball. That's pretty remarkable. Christopher Sanchez has been good for the most part. Not his last start, but for the most part, he's been good. Spencer Turnbull has been such an amazing sight for sore eyes when you talk about a guy being a 5th starter in your rotation, only allowing 4 earned runs and 5 starts again. Pretty great. And Taijuan Walker coming back. And now you're going to look, bottom line is you're going to be bolstering your bullpen with Spencer Turnbull going in there because the guy can flat out throw. All this is great stuff, but I didn't expect it. The bullpen, MLB.com put out who's going to be the best bullpen of 2024, and the Phillies were number 1. They were projected to have the best WAR in all of baseball, all bullpens. We all laughed at it. We scoffed at it. The first game of the season against the Braves when they did not do well. Let's just put it like that. We were all like, that's all right. I told you that's ridiculous. And we're like, we're just going to have to wait for June again for this team to be great. Well, it ain't June yet. And it ain't even May yet. It's still very much April. And this team is 9 games over 500. That is unreal. Now, we could. There's certainly guys out there that we could talk about, and we will in a second here. There was one. It's small things, but it goes, again, beyond the box score. And it has to do with somebody that I am first to criticize. I found myself actually defending a little bit. And he had some good at-bats today that helped the Phillies put up some crooked numbers. And I love to see it. We'll get to that in a second when we come back here. You're Locked On Phillies postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. If you guys aren't having fun on FanDuel yet, what are you waiting for? FanDuel is a great time. It's playoff time in the NBA, although it might not no longer for the Sixers. NHL and baseball. Very much in full swing, as we know all too well. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. What? Yes. New customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed, win or lose. W or L. How about that? Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunks to assists to strikeouts, all of it on the safe and secure, easy-to-use app, FanDuel. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to make your first bet an automatic win. If you had Taijuan Walker, for instance, on the over, 5 innings over tonight, then you would have hit that. He gave you 6 1/3. It's all on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to make your first bet an automatic win on FanDuel. Nick Castellanos. Now, I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Los Angeles, but I know in Philadelphia, where they're going to play the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles, California. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but I know here in Philadelphia, it's warm. It's toasty. So Nicky 3 Buttons is right around the corner. I'm not just talking about the hitting ideas. I'm talking about Nicky 3 Buttons, getting a little, ace calor, in a baseball field. I hope he's heating up because when he does heat up, this lineup will just continue to mash even more. But here's what you got with Nick Castellanos and his approach at the plate today. His first at bat of the ballgame, or I should say plate appearance. Second inning, Brandon Marsh leads things off, striking out, unfortunately. Missed a changeup. Then Castellanos comes up and he works a walk. Look at the box score. Like, oh, big deal. He walked. Okay. The count started 0-2. He worked his way back, laid off a couple pitches away, fouled a couple off. Some of those might have been away too, but I fouled him off. And he worked a walk. Next batter comes up, Bryson Stott, 2-run home run. Okay. Go to the 4th inning. Bryson Stott's 2nd home run. Nick Castellanos preceded him in the lineup, of course, because that's how it works. Nick Castellanos start off that at bat. 1-2. Fouled a couple off, took a couple away. Worked his 2nd walk of the game. That doesn't happen with Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos isn't a walking machine. Nick Castellanos is the guy that strikes out way too much. Nick Castellanos is the guy that swings at low and away pitches every single time. And look, last year in the first month of the season, oh my goodness, it was beautiful. laying off those pitches, working walks, driving the ball into the gap. I don't think he hit his first home run until around this time. I think it was the last week in April. He actually hit his first home run, but he was getting on base and he was driving the ball, and there were a lot of good signs there. Maybe we have a reverse here where he needs a month under his belt of the old ways before he gets back to the way that he was really going through his at-bats last year. The way to help to get into an all-star game? Maybe that's what we're doing here with Nick Castellanos. But in his first 2 plate appearances today, he ended up with 3 walks in total. First 2 are really the ones that jumped out to me because he was down in those counts so early and was down 0-2 and 1-2 and fought his way back to be able to work those walks. Is something that we're not used to seeing from Nick Castellanos. And to see him be able to do that and show a little bit of patience and lay off some pitches outside the strike zone are fantastic. His third and final walk of the game came in the 6th inning. He started that count 2-1. And then it got the 2-2. He laid off 2 pitches that were low and away. And that's how he got his third walk. That's not the norm for Nick Castellanos. In his head, he is saying swing, swing, swing at those pitches each and every time. For him to be able to stop himself and show some restraint, that's a wonderful thing. And I hope Nick Castellanos continues to build on that. Something else that I thought was interesting today. Yunior Marte came out to close down in the 8th inning. We talked about it 2 days ago. Orion Kerkering, I thought that was the spot that he was being groomed for, with Sir Anthony Dominguez essentially being relegated to mop-up roles now. I thought Orion Kerkering, who I think is taking the ball and running with it, was going to be coming out there in the 8th inning for whatever reason, probably because he hadn't pitched in a couple days, I think. Junior Marte, Rob Thomson ended up deciding to go with Junior Marte in the 8th inning. Questionable. Rather questionable. But he went out there after a little bit of trouble, unfortunately, there, especially with the Machado leadoff error to Alec Boehm and at third base. Junior Marte had his hands full in the early goings there of the it's still being ruled as a fielding error. Junior Marte had his hands full with a runner on first. You only have a 2-run lead. You have after Machado does dip off quite a bit, but you're a guy who doesn't have a lot of wiggle room because Orion Kerkering is competing for that final spot of a guy who's going to pitch in meaningful innings. So it's you or him. He gets the opportunity today, gets some bad luck, gets a good fielding play by Alec Boehm, and he's able to get 3 more outs in the inning to shut it down. Thought it was interesting that Rob Thomson did 2 things today. One, in a negative way, I thought it was interesting that he let Taijuan Walker pitch in that 7th inning. And in a positive way, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let's see what Marte's got. And Marte did just fine. Didn't allow a run, gave up the 1 hit, and was fine after that. Then you finally saw, for a long time, it feels like we haven't seen Jose Alvarado in the game. But Alvarado got a 1-2-3 inning in the 9th inning to close that out. Bottom line is the Phillies walk away with an 8-6 victory. Alec Boehm has raised his batting average over his 12-game hitting streak, more than 100 points. Trey Turner, I haven't even mentioned Trey Turner. He, again, gets some more hits today, which is great for him. 1 hit, excuse me. He only got the 1 hit. But, yeah, pretty remarkable. Oh, shout out to Bryson Stott, who, after he was hit by a pitch, stole second base and was able to come around to score for another insurance run there for the Phillies. I believe that came in the 7th inning. Yeah. 7th inning. That was JT Realmuto's RBI. Realmuto hit a home run. I think it's 5th of the season. I think it's his 5th of the season. JT Realmuto, 5th of the season, the 6th inning. And in the 7th inning, Realmuto got an RBI single with Bryce Harper misreading the throw. It got cut off at short. He got thrown out at second, but Schwarber scored before Harper was tagged at second, so the run ended up counting. But my point is that Stott stealing a base helped put a runner in scoring position in order for the Phillies to get those insurance runs. So that was great to see from him. Love to see. No, I'm talking about the wrong inning. Damn, it was the 8th inning. Actually, yeah, it was the 8th inning. Rojas got the ground rule double. Stott scored. It wasn't that mix-up. That makes more sense. Excuse me. 8th inning, Rojas got the ground rule double, so he gets another hit. Good to see that. But Stott ended up scoring on that play to give it the 8-6 lead. That was the extra insurance run. Excuse me. So that's how that one worked. And that gave Alvarado and it gave Junior Marte a little bit more wiggle room in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then Alvarado in the 9th inning as well. Excuse me for that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Here's what we got. The Phillies now will go to Los Angeles for a 3-game series with Mike Trout and the Angels, and not just Mike Trout, but Logan O'Hoppe. Logan O'Hoppe, who the Phillies sent to the Angels in exchange for Brandon Marsh. O'Hoppe is hitting over 300 this season. Brandon Marsh is flirting with 300. It seems to be a trade that has worked out phenomenally well for both ball clubs. So that's something we'll be keeping an eye on in this series coming up. And that will get underway tomorrow night, 8:38 start time, as the Phillies play the last 3 games of this 10-game road trip. They have won 4 in a row, and they're coming off this 3-game sweep of the Padres. On the hill for the Phillies, it'll be Christopher Sanchez going against Griffin Canning of the Angels. Canning is 1-3 on the season with a 7.50 ERA. Come on. Sanchez, 2.96 ERA. Canning is coming off a start. Right-handed pitcher, by the way, 27 years old. Coming off a start against the Baltimore Orioles, where he went 5 innings, allowing 3 runs, all of them earned on 5 hits. He did issue 2 walks. Not much of a strikeout pitcher, just 4 strikeouts in each of his last 2 starts. And in his previous start to that, he gave up 2 runs, all earned, 4 hits in 5 1/3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's who the Phillies got on the mound tomorrow night to go against Christopher Sanchez. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Catch you guys tomorrow night after a late Phillies start time. Catch you guys then.